Most people will never save $100,000 in their lifetime. Not because they didn't earn enough, not because they weren't smart enough, but because nobody ever showed them what actually happens inside the process. They just saw the result. They saw someone post a screenshot of their bank account. They saw the number, but they never saw the road. And here's the thing, the road is not what you think it looks like. The first $100,000 is not a money problem. It's not an income problem. It's a clarity problem. Because the moment you actually understand what's happening under the surface, the moment you see this the right way, something changes in how you think about money. And that change is what this video is about. So stay with me, because by the end of this, you are not going to walk away with a list of tips. You're going to walk away with a completely different picture of how this works. And that picture is what makes people actually do it. Let me start with something that most financial videos will not tell you. The majority of people who struggle to save money are not spending too much on coffee. They are not failing because of Netflix. They are failing because they are trying to save what's left over at the end of the month. And there is almost never anything left over at the end of the month. This is a design problem, not a discipline problem. Think about water in a pipe. If you want to collect water, you don't wait for it to drip out the other end. You redirect it before it flows. Saving works the same way. The people who actually hit $100,000 are the ones who redirect money the moment it comes in, not the moment it runs out. Now, here's a number that changes everything for most people. When you look at your monthly income, whatever that number is, a very small fraction of it is actually moving your life forward. The rest is covering the cost of your current life. And those two things are completely different. Your current life costs you money. Your future life needs money. Right now, most people are only funding their current life. That is the starting point. That is where we begin to change things. Here is a simple way to think about this. If you save $500 a month, you hit $100,000 in about 16 and a half years without any growth. If you save $1,000 a month, you hit it in about 8 years. If you save $2,000 a month, you get there in just over 4 years. Now, before you say your income doesn't allow for those numbers, stay with me, because this is not about picking a number and hoping. It is about understanding what levers you actually have. Most people only think about one lever, cut expenses, but there are 3 levers, and most people are only using one. Lever 1 is what you spend. Lever 2 is what you earn. Lever 3 is how long you stay consistent. Those 3 things work together. And when you understand all 3, the goal becomes real, not inspiring. Real. Let's talk about spending first, because this is where most people start, and it is the right place to start, as long as you are honest with yourself. There is a difference between spending on things that improve your life and spending on things that you don't even remember. The second category is where the money disappears, not in big dramatic ways, in small, forgettable ways. Subscriptions you haven't opened in 6 months, delivery fees on things you could have picked up yourself, automatic renewals on services you stopped using. The exercise here is simple. Go back through the last 30 days of your bank or car statements, not to judge yourself, just to see. Because most people have never actually looked at a full month of their own spending. They have a feeling about it, but they've never looked at it, and the feeling is almost always wrong. When you look, you will find 2 or 3 things that surprise you. Not things you need to cut immediately, just things you didn't realize were there. That awareness alone shifts something. From there, the goal is not to live like a monk. The goal is to make your spending intentional. If you're spending money on something and you know exactly why, that is fine. If you're spending money on something and you couldn't explain why if someone asked you, that is the leak. Now, here is the part that most people skip because it feels harder. Cutting expenses feels like something you can do today. Earning more money feels like something that might happen someday. But the math is clear. Cutting $200 a month helps. Earning $500 more a month helps much more, and both together is where things really accelerate. The earning side does not require you to start a business or find a second job immediately. It starts with a simpler question. What skill or knowledge do you already have that other people would pay for? Not what you wish you had. What do you already have right now? This could be something you do in your current job that other businesses also need. It could be a skill you learned as a hobby. It could be something you are good at that you never thought of as valuable. People pay for solutions, and most people are sitting on more solutions than they realize. The point here is not to overwhelm you with options. The point is to shift how you see your own potential income. Your paycheck is not a ceiling, it's a floor. And understanding that changes how quickly you think you can move. Now, here is the part nobody talks about: the middle. The beginning of saving is exciting. You set the goal, you feel motivated, you make changes. The end is exciting too. You see the number getting close, you know it's almost there. But the middle is quiet. Nothing dramatic is happening. The number is growing slowly, life is getting in the way, and this is where most people quietly give up. Not in a single dramatic moment, they just slowly stop. The savings get skipped one month, then another, then it becomes the old plan. The people who hit $100,000 are not the ones who were more motivated in the middle. They are the ones who made it harder to stop than to keep going. They automated the savings so it wasn't a decision anymore. They tracked the number regularly so progress was always visible. And they treated small setbacks as part of the process, not as a sign the process wasn't working. Progress in savings is not linear. Some months you save more. Some months an unexpected expense shows up and you save less. That's normal. What matters is the direction over time, not the perfection of each individual month. There is a moment that most people who reach $100,000 described in a similar way. And it's not when they hit the number, it's much earlier. It's a quiet moment, usually somewhere between $10,000 and $30,000 in savings, when they realize that the money they're holding is no longer just money, it's proof. Proof that they can do this. Proof that they are actually a different kind of person with money than they used to be. That shift in identity is what makes the rest of the journey feel different. It stops being about the number, it starts being about who they are becoming. And that's the version of saving that actually lasts. So here's why I want to leave you today. You don't need perfect income. You don't need a windfall. You don't need to wait until things settle down. You need clarity about where your money's going, a real plan for how you redirect some of it, and enough consistency to let time do its work. The first $100,000 is not the easiest. It's actually the hardest, because you're building the habit and the number at the same time. But it's also the most important, because every dollar you save after that one builds on a foundation that you created yourself. Now, I want to ask you something, and I genuinely want to know your answer. Drop it in the comments below. What is the single biggest thing that has stopped you from saving seriously in the past? Not what you think you should say, the real answer. Because when you name it, it stopped having as much power over you. And I actually read these. And if you want to go even deeper on this, the next video on this channel is going to give you something practical you can use right away. It's going to be worth your time. Click it now while you're already in the mindset.